some of this stuff, I think you said you've been reading, and I know these guys, different of us have been reading the different things on serial killers. Is that something that did you read about specific serial killers, or just the fiction? Like, just have an interest in that kind of?
No, I was more interested in the real life thing.
The real, like, books about specific people, like the BTK.
Right, the case. Well, yeah.
But
case studies.
On BTK, was that one of them, or not so much?
He wasn't one of my favorites, no.
Green River. We've already established.
He was interesting. I know all of them. I mean,
you know all.
even the ones. I was more interested in the older stories, like turn of the century.
Okay, like going way back, like Jack the Ripper, that far back.
Well, Jack the Ripper's not that interesting because they never caught him, but yeah, there's just a different. It was everybody thought of it as a new phenomenon back then. That's what made it interesting.
But it wasn't.
Well, there just weren't. Genocide was becoming unpopular, so serial killers had to find something else to do. Yeah.
What was the most interesting ones that you read about?
Holmes was one of them.
Tell me about Holmes.
Holmes was, I think, turn of the century, 1900.
Where?
He had a castle dungeon combination in, I think it was Chicago, and he would give free room and board to people who were coming to the World Fair there, and he was a doctor, a medical doctor, I think, or at least he'd been to medical school. I don't know if he was ever practicing. Anyway, essentially he had his house designed as a body processing factory. He would invite people to stay in this nice castle in these rooms, and had gas plumbed into the rooms, and greased chutes down to the basement. We'd sell their skeletons to drugstores and medical schools and stuff.
How did he get caught?
Pinkertons, I think. Pinkerton Detective Agency. They tracked him. He went all across the United States. He essentially kidnapped one of his girlfriends or wives' kids or something, and took them all across the United States with him. By the time he got back, none of them were with him anymore, and that's what got people asking questions. And the Pinkertons backtrailed him and eventually found, I think, most of the remains. He was interesting because he was pretty sane individual. He looked at it as more of a business enterprise kind of thing, even though I would say probably unquestionably he was doing it for more than that. But
how do people? Are there books written on him? Did he write a book? Did other people write on him?
No, I read some books about him, and then they recently I just dug up a bunch more information on him too. So.
Where the information come
The most recent information on him, I think I watched it on TV, but prior to that, I had read about him in a couple different books.
from? What's his first name?
I don't know. His initials were H.H. Holmes, I think.